I worked with Jen Miskiel earlier this year, and it was by far one of the very best decisions I've ever made. When she first asked me if I was interested in working on my relationship to food with her, I have to say I had mixed feelings. I was a little excited because it felt like an answered prayer, but I was also super scared because I knew if I got through the blocks, I'd have to live my best life. That's scary. And also I might have to get rid of some of my favorite things. Like food was my best friend. Food was my company, my comfort on so many levels. And I truly couldn't imagine living life without that. So I was scared. I told her I had to sleep on it for a couple days. I didn't say yes right away. But I'm so glad I decided to take the leap because here we are 7 months later and I truly am a different person. And I credit so much of that to my experience of working with Jen on my relationship to food using the Aroma Freedom Technique. Each week, she would come to our meetings fully present. No matter what was happening in her life, I was the center of attention for that time. I felt loved, I felt comforted, I felt supported and heard. Jen is such a gifted listener. I talk about this all the time, like on a weekly basis, if not more, this comes up because I don't think I've ever been listened to quite the way Jen does. Often we would have conversations and I would say things, or she would have a question and I wouldn't quite get it, but then she would rephrase something that we had been talking about in a way that suddenly everything clicked, or she would repeat back something I said from my subconscious that I wasn't able to hear yet because of whatever block, and suddenly I had an epiphany. So, I credit so many breakthroughs to the power of Jen's listening to me and the time that we spent together. She introduced me to the Aroma Freedom Technique a little before we started working together. I got the book, I read it, I practiced, I thought it was so cool, I told people about it, but I didn't think I needed help. I didn't think I needed a certified practitioner. I thought I could do it myself because that's the way I do things in life is by myself. But working with Jen showed me, there is so much value to having someone hold space, to having someone hold your hand, to move through emotions that feel terrible, old memories that you may or may not want to look at. But if you have somebody who's there holding you accountable every step of the way and making sure at the end of your session you leave feeling uplifted, I can't even tell you how powerful that is. So having somebody to help is so necessary. And I'm telling you, this is from somebody who thinks she can do it all herself. I'm a control freak. I want to do it myself. I don't want help. But taking the help I have goosebumps, was the very best thing I could have chosen to do in this situation. Every week, Jen not only would come present, she'd have all my notes from the last week. We would go over homework that we had worked on together. And she had resources. She turned me on to YouTube videos and books and websites and things that were catered specifically to our conversations to help me continue to move forward. AFT, the power of essential oils, is absolutely amazing. If you don't already know about that, Jen will fill you in on how it works, but oils help to trigger memories that you wouldn't necessarily be able to get to otherwise. And it's just the scent. It's not specifically oils. If you smell an orange or someone's perfume at the grocery store that has some kind of a triggering effect on you, it's going to bring you back to that time and place where you smelled that before. But Jen walks you through this process and she helps you to use it to transform your life. So I shot for the stars in the beginning. She asked me for a goal and I said I wanted food freedom. I wanted to eat when, where, with whoever I wanted. I didn't want to feel like I had chains around my ankles or a cloud above my head anymore of food controlling my life. I just wanted to eat. And I wanted to eat and be able to think about healthy food, but if I wanted to eat cake, I wanted to eat cake. And here I am on the other side, and I'm a little more than 2 months out, and I've got it. So if you are considering working with Jen, I highly recommend it. She really has changed my life, and I'm sure there are many others who will feel the same way.